the Minister of Education, Mr. Anthony Garcia, and the Minister in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Lavelle Francis, hailing all the way from the South Coast, today claiming ancestry in Laventille. Minister of Works and Transport, Laventillian, Mr. Fitzgerald Hines, Minister in the Ministry of Works, Mr. Adrian Leons, my other cabinet and parliamentary colleagues. I have with us here today the Minister of Communication and the Minister of Communication and Public Admin, I see there, and Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Education, and technical officers, senior members of staff. Permit me a very special welcome to a lady who's passionate about our education system, about children, Mrs. Zina Ramatali. Principal of Success Laventille and other principals from the greater Laventille area, teachers, parents, students, members of the security services, members of the media. Good evening to you all. I am very heartened to come here this evening and see so many of you representing such a wide cross-section of national interests, responding to what I consider to be a simple common sense call. When we met under an initiative of I-95.5, which was the Laventille project, it was just a situation where other citizens operating on the radio station decided that they wanted to do something about focusing on Laventille and assisting Laventille to move from where it is to where it can be. And I participated in that program simply to provide support to those persons who saw that with the proper intervention, the Laventille problem could be addressed and could be solved. It was in that arrangement that I made this call to the Minister of Education to focus on providing leadership for a program of this nature. But on that day, I made it quite clear that such a program and such efforts by I-95.5, by the minister, by the government, will come to naught if you, the parents, didn't buy into it. And today, I'm beginning to feel that there's hope for this program. This program is about an intervention on behalf of and with those who today are categorized as children. So in other words, we are saying that those who are adults, we probably have passed through. Many of us might consider ourselves successes, but there's too much negative associated with Laventille, too much failure and too much potential failure. But if we intervene, taking in hand the children in a definite program of this nature, we can break the cycle. I can tell you, I am a member of parliament, as you know, and I have schools in my district. And from time to time, I will visit the primary schools. And whenever I visit a primary school, it is always an uplifting experience for me. And when people ask me, why are you in politics and taking all the abuse and doing this and doing that? Why do you do it? And some people say to me straight, I could never do that. On the day when I visit the primary school, I walk away feeling that my life is very valuable and my contribution is very valuable. But then something else always follows me from those trips. Because when I go go to these primary schools and I look at the children, every single one of them, so energized, energetic, everything is positive about them. And then somewhere along the way you begin to hear that our young people are associated with failure, with crime, with lack of interest, and you ask yourself, how is this happening and why is this happening? When do these little angels turn into demons? When do they lose hope? When do they become people who do not believe that they're valuable and valued? So somewhere between there and where they ought to be, as adults who can contribute to national upliftment and take part in national development, something goes wrong. And I believe, and the experts are convincing me that it is so, that if the parents and the teachers and the community work together, we will break that cycle and will generate a stream of better citizens. And that is what this program is all about. That is what this program is about, an intervention to break the cycle. Now, the minister said that he's confident that the program will succeed. I have great expectation that the program will succeed. This program will succeed if there is the leadership and if there is the discipline. If those two ingredients are available, leadership and discipline. And by leadership, I am talking about leadership from the home, leadership from the community, leadership from the government, leadership from the ministry, leadership from the church and in the vineyards. And if there is discipline, particularly discipline in the schools, you will be amazed at what the schools will turn out in Laventille. And when I say Laventille here, I am not talking about Laventille. This Laventille program is the greater Laventille from Beacon to Mova, from Belmont to Success Village. This community, the greater Laventille community, because the issues are the same. And if we identify the issues, as we are trying to do now, and identify our role in it, and I was very pleased and impressed to hear that the agencies, the international agencies, are paying attention to the program and are offering to help. If that assistance is grasped, and if the parents play the role, and if we minimize the number of people who are stigmatizing the name Laventille, then we are on our way. The people of Laventille, I empathize with you, but it's not hopeless. I remember growing up in Tobago, in what was a very open and community influenced environment for a child. And when I speak to you now, I distinctly recall the trauma that I experienced on the night when somebody killed somebody in that village. I feel that up to now, if I think about it. And I think about you in Laventille, to live with this every day. You need an intervention like this. Your children need an intervention like this. I can tell you now exactly how I felt and the effect it had on me, on my freedom as a child, my impression of what life was going to be, and more than that, how human beings related to other human beings and when you trust other human beings. I distinctly can tell you now how I felt when a woman came up to my grandfather to tell him that her brother had just killed his sister. But in Laventille, these are stories that too many people experience. We want the children of Laventille from today going forward not to be exposed to that ever, regardless on a daily basis. And as we put this program and sow this seed in Laventille, we are confronting those who believe that failure is your portion and minimizing the numbers who believe And that is all that you're about. This program is about emphasizing the positives. Why not ignoring the negative? There are so many positives in your community. And when we begin to emphasize them, you yourself will ask, is this Laventille? Mr. Hans was just telling me about a young lady that we know. We know because he introduced me to her when she was a young child. She went to a school in Laventille. She was guided under a principal who had a disciplined hand. And he reminded me it wasn't just Jamila, it was a handful of them, produced by that school. The school, yeah. And he was just telling me she's in Africa, having gone through the university system. Her parents are still in the country. Her father is still here, experiencing a difficult life. Her mother is still here, living the life of an ordinary person, going to work every day and making ends meet. But this child has gone through the best that the world has to offer, and she is a product of Trinidad and Tobago, flying or fly high. But many of you don't know that and don't know her. I can tell you this evening, there are a lot of people in the national community who are desperate to help you out of your situation. And as head of the government, I want to say something else to you. Your problem is not just about money. And you don't only measure success by how much money. Money is important because goods and services have to be paid for. But a lot of it is attitude. You cannot put a price on attitude. And as I tell you that, I'm not saying that that is peculiar only to your community and to you. It's a national problem. The bulk of the problems in this country, there are too many people who believe that they can only be solved by money. But money with the wrong attitude, you have no chance of solving the problem. Yesterday, the Minister of Finance read what we commonly call a budget, and he covered a wide range of national interests and a number of areas of governmental activity. And I was listening to hear what the response was from the national community. Because we worked very hard during the last few months to be able to give that 3-hour speech to the nation as to what we are about going forward. And there was one comment that I attached my attention to, and it's a comment coming from the business community, a business leader, whose comment on the budget was that the budget lacked something, and what it lacked was a stimulus package. Now that sounds very impressive, eh? Because it means, in simple language, that the government didn't find a pool of money to spend, to increase the spending so that that spending will generate contracts. And those who will get those contracts will continue to earn money the way they used to earn money before. And I said to myself, as long as that is the mentality, that is the mentality that will keep us where we are today. Because the budget yesterday was not about a stimulus package. Because unlike Barack Obama, who could have given the American community a stimulus package when their economy collapsed in 2009, we don't have a Federal Reserve Bank to print money and give you a stimulus package for years and maintain your problem. We don't have that. We have, on the other hand, the opposite. We have to be careful that we don't borrow money to make sure that to maintain our lifestyle and put ourselves into bankruptcy when we can't repay the money we borrow. And anybody who is telling us that the way out of our problem is to borrow money, to spend it on a stimulus package to maintain our lifestyle, as Lloyd Best would say, them is people to watch. What the budget yesterday represents against the background of what we are doing today, what that budget yesterday represents against what we are doing today in Laventille, is opportunity for participation, for making the most of what we have available to us. Opportunity. I have been in this country for a long time in the politics. I have been in a number of cabinets. I've listened to a number of budgets. There has been no budget read in this country, in the history of this country, where the participation of the nation in the national development has been more open than yesterday's budget. It opens the door to participation. And I say to you, the citizens here in Laventille and elsewhere in the country, we are going to have to do things differently. Every road to be built in this country has to be built by the government. Every school, every health center, every this, every that. Because in this country, for the last generation or two, we've grown up on the government. Well, you better begin to be weaned off the government, because the government's shoulder cannot carry the burden anymore. When the Minister of Finance tells you that the monies that we are likely to get coming in as revenue in 2017 is $37 billion, and you are told that the last government in 2015 had a budget of $63 billion, I know you in Laventille know the maths. If you had at one time the opportunity to spend $60 billion and you now only can have available $37 billion, if you want to live at $60 billion level, the only way you could do that is to borrow the difference and live on borrowed money. And of course, if you borrow and you can't repay, then I don't have to tell you what's going to happen. But what we're going to do is to make sure that we don't only convince ourselves that in the absence of money at $60 billion, there is no hope for a good and progressive life. Laventille, what I'm asking the Minister of Education to do here with this program is to ensure that the ministry provides the leadership, and that whatever money is allocated to the Ministry of Education, that we get the best value for that money. And as long as we do that, we'll be on the right track. And I would judge success on this basis. When teachers in the Laventille schools are proud to tell tutor and the rest of the national community that I am a Laventille teacher teaching in the Laventille school, and do that with pride, I would know that success has begun to attend. And when parents in the greater Laventille area are pleased and happy to send their children to the schools in their neighborhood, and they are proud to tell their friends that my son or my daughter is going or has gone to this or that school in Laventille, I will know that success is taking place in Laventille. That is my yardstick for measuring it. And I will tell you something else too. Because of the nature of the problems in Laventille, and because this government believes that special problems require special solutions, the government will look at special treatment for the teachers in the Laventille district. Because the assignment is not the same. And it is not sufficient for a teacher in the Laventille district to come to school in the morning, possibly late, leave in the afternoon, possibly early, and not come back. Those of us who are successful in rural schools and in difficult environments, it is the teachers who went beyond the call of duty, getting there beforehand, staying with us, and staying there after the bell has been rung to make sure that we got the guidance and the attention to take us where we need to go. That is what is required of those teachers. And if they have to do that in Laventille, they would require to be regarded as special teachers. And this government is prepared to do that. I hear you talking about code of dress code. Well, I'm not interested in the shirt and pants dress code. I'm interested in something that will identify a teacher saying, I am a Laventille teacher. And the same way the steel band was born in Laventille. And today, you can't go anywhere in this country and not meet people playing steel band. Labre, Sandy Grande, Tobago, Caroni. This project that we are launching here today in Laventille will spread across Trinidad and Tobago as long as you are successful. Because the ingredients are worthy of emulation. There are other communities in the country which have the same kinds of problems, but may not have the same label. And what we are trying to solve in Laventille, as we solve it here, it will spread out into the rest of the national community. And let it be known that Laventille was the area where the parents and the teachers came together, worked together with the government, using whatever resources were available at the time, making maximum use to ensure that our children get the guidance and the opportunities that they are worthy of. I know of no parent in Laventille, who doesn't want the best for his or her child. And parents in the secondary schools, we are going to reactivate and push the school board arrangement. And it is for you, the parents, to give a little of your time and a lot of your time to the parent-teacher associations in your district. You as parents, you are required to be in the forefront of your children's interest. You can't just send your children to school and deliver them to the teachers. You have to be a part of their development. And more than that, you have to prepare them at home for what the teachers are prepared to impart to them at school. And members of the clergy, some of you who are present here this evening, regardless of what is your denomination, you provide leadership in the community, and you too have a role to play. And school is not only about morning when the bell rings and afternoon. School in these communities ought to be a way of life. And this program is going to encourage that. I just said to the Minister of Education, the next time I come to Laventille, it will be to address every student in every one of these 25 schools. We're going to have a rally. We're going to have a rally of Laventille school children so that their leaders could talk to them and tell them what their country is expecting of them. And when we do that, they will impress us in the same way these young men impress us this evening. I have every confidence that there's great in Laventille. I don't know how many of you in this hall would know, but right behind here used to be a ready-mix business. Ready-mix concrete used to operate right behind here. I used to be there as a little boy because my mother used to work there. My mother used to feed the men who worked there. And I would come from Tobago to my mother and to come into Laventille there. My mother lived in Laventille. It was the first place I went to have a great vacation. I just wrote about it in that book I just published. It was a great vacation because coming from Tobago, I couldn't imagine how you all lived on this hill because it was so different. But as I got older, I realized how special Laventille is. And whatever they say, whatever you do, Laventille still has the best view of this country. Best view. And it is my intention that that view must be envied by the rest of the country. So this evening, I want to congratulate you, the parents, for associating with this project. When you go back up the hill or go across the Beetham, encourage your neighbors to get involved. Keep an eye on the children. Encourage the children. Respect and encourage the teachers. And have confidence in your government to make the change that you want for the next generation. Thank you very much.